Cause you'll never be satisfied. You'll never be satisfied.
The dragon, tongue lashing, but the lungs not charred. Mars, we light up the spark, we fire retarded. Czars of the new empire guard me. I make hard to find me or any I from the darks. It's an art.
All kind of like chained right now. Like we're all kind of chained to this fucking idea of like what ego really is and what everybody thinks they should, what everybody believes they think they should act as. And like I'm not really good with my words, but I know that through actions I can, feel some kind of freedom through social media, because it's easy to open your phone and look at a picture and recreate it, but it's one thing to not touch your phone, to not look at the social medias or not even look at the internet at all, to gain reference point and start something new. There's always back and forthness on like what is art and what art isn't. And like it's everything is about perception. And if you think art is this and it's that to you, if you think this is that to you, then that's what it is to you. And like I said earlier, it's never been about whether you're satisfied or not, because you'll never be satisfied. You'll never be satisfied, which is something I've learned, and I'm still learning, because you face those things where you drop something and then you're like, okay, this is cool, and a week later you look at it again, you keep rewatching it, and you're like, yo, this is not okay, this is fucked up, I don't like this. But that's good, that's what's needed, because if you're just gonna put something out there and you're just gonna be like, okay, this is good, I'm content with it, and it's just gonna be like that forever and remain non-dynamic or stagnant, then you know what, like there's no progress. There's literally no progress. And I think that in the city of Edmonton, we're still very, very conserved. We're still very kind of insecure about how we react to what's happening around us, how to do confrontation, how to talk in social situations, how to network, and how to do all these things. And I'm not gonna lie, I struggle with that thing. I struggle with that shit too. It's hard, especially being a nigga. It's not easy. It's really not easy to just start talking and expect the words to come out of your mouth be all flowy and speak ebonics and be all this and that. It's not that easy, because I'm a nigga that does art, which is still kind of weird. It's not that weird, but it's still kind of weird in the city of Edmonton. And there's a lot of young black artists in the city that are trying to do this, but they're afraid that because of such a conserved space, they won't be seen as anything different but just a black kid that just does art. But yeah, I don't know, man. Like, shit, who the fuck called me, man? You already know. I'm in a fucking interview, man. Oh, Cordell called me. Fuck it. Yeah, Cordell, that's the homeboy, man. Like, him being a young indigenous man, like trying to get up on this photography, he's already dealing with intergenerational trauma, especially in a place like the city of Edmonton. So for him to be able to put out content and put out work, not because he's trying to do it for the people, but because he's trying to do it for himself and battle his own sanity, is what progress is. That's how you find, I don't know, a little bit of peace of mind. And if you never find peace of mind, that means that means you're working for it at least. At least you're doing something, you're being active about it and not being passive. It's really easy to be passive. It's really easy to just like put everything down on the ground and be like, fuck it, I don't want to do this no more. Everyone's had that point in time where they've just wanted to quit. A lot of people have gone through that point when they have quit. I have quit. I'm not gonna lie, I have quit. I have completely stopped what I was doing because I don't know, how else to go forward, and it doesn't matter how many people I talk to or what I read or what I see, it's just never enough sometimes. And I need to remind myself that it's okay to take a break, but it's not okay to just stop. It's one thing to quit, but it's one thing to completely stop, because quitting, you can quit temporarily, but if you stop, then it's done. And like I've contemplated a lot of things, and I know that I don't have a choice. I can't stop. I can't quit making art, even if I just don't do it for a small period. I know I'm still doing it during that not doing it for a small period. I may not have a pen in my hand, or a marker, or a can, or my laptop, or anything in my hand, and it may not look like I'm making art or something, but in my head there's still a bunch of garbage that's going on that I can't articulate on the exterior. But yeah, man, like, you just gotta do what you gotta do at this point. You know, it's corny. It sounds corny, and people have been saying it for generations and generations and generations. But it's because it's the fucking truth. You can't stop now. What the fuck are you gonna do if you stop now? We're in Edmonton, Alberta. Like, eat while you can, because it's slowly building up again. It's slowly getting there again. It's just supporting one another, you know. Real recognize real, and if there's people out there that are like trying to bring you down or trying to fucking slow your progress or anything of the sort, figure out why they're trying to do it first. Then ask them if they're struggling with it, and maybe you can make ends meet with the enemy, you know. And next thing you know, you're collaborating with that person to build a better platform for yourselves. It's not always easy to put beef aside. It's not always easy to put grudges aside. I understand that, but remember that there is no progress in just being stagnant. So there's a lot of people I dislike. There's a lot of people that have cheesed me, and there's a lot of experiences that I've experienced that have made me question my relationships with people. But it's not stopping me from creating artwork, because the strongest relationship I have in my life is a relationship I have with my mom and my artwork. So that's all that matters in my head. And I can't speak for everybody, but you know what? I think it always comes down to the root and why you're here and where you're from and who you surround yourself with. Nigga, I could talk for fucking years. I could talk for years, but I ain't gonna do that. You know?
Bro, that shit was perfect. That was awesome. Thank you.